I'm studying her, and this is everything that I learned this week. I'm starting the syllabus with her mindset, and this week I researched the art of reflection. Going into 2026, you keep hearing people saying that they're doing a rebrand, and while I think this is great and it's great to have goals, I do think it's really important that we reflect on the lessons we've already learned so that we don't keep making the same mistakes. While reflection is often categorized as a hobby, it's actually a psychological skill. Some key concepts that we can cover are meaning making as a survival mechanism, narrative identity, cognitive reappraisal, hindsight bias, and the locus of control. Section 1. Reflection versus hindsight bias. One of the most important skills we can practice is reflection. Reflection allows hindsight to become a blessing rather than a punishment. Instead of using the past as evidence that we've failed, reflection lets us use it as information, and our lessons become something we can learn from rather than resent or regret. I often find myself obsessing over saying the wrong thing or making the wrong choice, but there's actually a name for this, and it's called hindsight bias. It's the voice in our head that tells us that we shouldn't have done something when obviously we could not have known prior. So reflection asks you, what did this teach me? And not, what could I have done differently? Section 2. Why everything happens for a reason. The phrase, everything happens for a reason, is often dismissed as being naive. It's also a respective process called cognitive reappraisal. Cognitive reappraisal is an emotion regulation strategy where we change how we interpret an experience to change how it makes us feel. So we're not denying that it happened, we're not denying that it isn't hurting, but we are reframing it in a way that restores agency. When reflection is done well, it shifts your locus of control. So a purely external locus of control says, life just happens to me. A purely internal one says, everything is my fault. Reflection lives somewhere in the middle. You may not have controlled what happened, but you do get to control how it makes you feel. The meaning that you assign to a memory determines whether you see it as something that you regret or whether it becomes an experience that you can learn from. Section 3. Narrative identity. So, as we know, psychologically, reflection is a survival strategy. When something destabilizing happens, the brain searches for meaning. It searches for coherence. It wants things to make sense. And research into narrative identity shows that we decide who we are based on the experiences that happen to us. So we're not just living events, we're actually editing them into a story that asks the question, who am I given what has happened to me? That is why there is no point masking over previous experiences and traumas in the name of a 2026 rebrand. Because everything that happened to you made you who you are. And it's important that we look at what we've already learned so that we don't keep making the same mistakes and learning the same lessons. So even if these things are painful for you to think about, try not to just gloss over them and ask yourself, what did this teach me about myself, about the world, about other people? Suppressing the past fragments your narrative, and embracing it strengthens your identity. Everything is a win if the goal is to experience. So here are a couple of reflection prompts for you to try out. The first one is thinking about your life as a story. And in this current chapter, what is the lesson that you're being taught? What is the theme of this part of your life? And the second one is to practice assigning meaning and not blame. So if you think about something that you wish hadn't have happened, without assigning blame to anybody, including yourself, what meaning can you extract from it? What lesson did it teach you? What do you know going forward now? If you found this useful, you can read the full class plan on my Substack. I will also be sharing the assigned reading for the week, which is my research and how I discovered the science behind this topic. I am in no way saying that I am a finished product. I'm on a journey of self-improvement and I'm just sharing the process with you. I find it very helpful to structure things in modules. If you did enjoy this video, I will be continuing with the Her Mindset module this month, and then next month we'll be moving on to our next topic. Thank you so much for listening and learning with me.